Hello, my most amazing artists. Mrs. Townsend here, and I am going to share with you a little bit about collage. Collage is something that we just started doing in class today, and we're just experimenting. We're trying to learn what we can and can't do with our scissors in our hands to create some collage artwork. I want to share with you an artist who, an illustrator and author who creates collage-styled books. His name is Eric Carl. And he uses collage to create most of his book work, his illustrations for his books. And collage means to glue in French. So you're using papers, strips of papers or different types of papers to glue them together to create your artwork versus using paint or markers. So everything he creates is made from different pieces of paper cut out and glued together. Pretty cool, huh? Well, we're going to be making some of our own collages, and I have some ideas for you guys at home how to make your own collages with materials you can find around your house. When we work with our collage at school, I know this is probably backwards for you, collage, it says on the top. We're going to choose a base. That's step one. That would be like a paper or a board to put your work on. We're going to cut or tear our shapes. We're going to arrange them and rearrange them, maybe making some shapes overlap each other. We're going to attach the shapes using whatever we can use to make them stick, like glue sticks, glue, or tape. And then we're going to transform the drawing or turn it into a drawing or a painting, either by writing or drawing over it, or just using the shapes as part of the painting. I'll show you what that looks like here. So here's an example of my base. It's just a board. If you have cardboard at home or just a piece of paper, that works really well for a base. And you can either choose to draw your shapes first, or you can just draw and paint with your shapes and not pre-draw. Just go for it. That's all right. I usually use a glue stick, and then I put glue on the base, and then I stick my papers. If you look really closely, this has some really cool texture. I was using torn pieces of paper that were already painted and then gluing them down because I like the soft edge that you get when you glue your pieces of paper down. I'm probably going to use scissors to cut a line of paper for the stem, and then I'm going to collage the background as well. Right? We're going to be looking at some different shapes when we're cutting. I know this is probably backwards for you again, but this word right here says organic shapes. Look at the shape of this organic shape. It's kind of like a blob. You can't really name an organic shape. So think blobs, splatters, leaves, anything you can't really name or measure, it's an organic shape. They're irregular, and they're usually found in nature. Another type of shape is called a geometric shape. Now these shapes, if you look really closely, you can probably name them like triangle, rectangle, circle or half circle. What else do we have here? Squares. Those are all shapes that are called geometric shapes. Those are shapes you can name and measure. So when you're using your pieces of paper for your collage, think if you're going to use organic shapes, geometric shapes, and maybe you want to use a combination, and where would those look good on your piece of paper? I want to show you a big example of a collage. This one was inspired by another project I did with some older kids, but it's a big piece of collage. It's big paper that we painted first, and then we tore the big paper into strips. You can see how it's soft and jagged on the edges. Well, then we took those big strips, and the base is just another big piece of paper. You can use newspaper too for your base, and we glued those strips coming out from the center like this. Well, then on the top we used oil pastels, but you could use crayons or markers, and we did some blending with these half circles for eyes and a upside down teardrop shape, this, for a beak. And we did a little blending, and then we glued these papers on top of our already made collage. So it looks like an eagle face or some kind of bird face like that. So this is a big type of collage with mixed of cutting and tearing. So when you're thinking of your own collage of what you can make at home, I want you to use your own ideas. So our idea sheet, and I'll share this with you so you can see it online, is your ideas are worth creating. There's 3 steps to think about as an artist. 1, what do you want to create? Think of things that you like or you're inspired by. Maybe it's animals or pets or people or landscapes or places. You can decide what it's going to be, and then step 2, what do you need to make that happen? What can you find around your house to make those ideas happen? You don't have to have fancy art supplies. You just have to know how to think like an artist and find your supplies. And then number 3, what is your first step? What are you going to do first? Are you going to draw out your idea first, or are you going to just go for it? So again, if you want to pre-draw, you can. If you want to start with a blank base, that's fine too. I'm going to share with you, I know it'll be backwards, but I'll share this on the Google Classroom with you as well and on my website. It's called the Collage Scavenger Hunt, and it has a start and an end, and it just kind of tells you to go around the house and find like a shiny object, something natural like a piece of bark or a leaf, maybe something that's translucent like an old Ziploc bag. So you can go around the house and find things that aren't necessarily paper, but other things you can use to collage. So I'm going to share these ideas with you. If you make something really cool and you want to send it in as a photo, I'd love to see it. I can't wait to see what you create. Bye.